if you compare all the 10 programs, the 10th program is the amount of effort needed is little more compared to others. So we'll go through that today. Good morning, everybody. Today we'll look into the first lab program number 9. So what is the lab program number 9? Problem statement. Write a PHP program named states.py that declares a variable states with value Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Massachusetts, Kansas. Write a PHP program that does the following. Search for a word in a variable state that ends in XAS. So the word that the state that ends with the word XAS is Texas. We have to use the regular expressions here. Store this word in an element 0 of the list named state list. So we have to create a state list. Then we have to look for a state or the word which ends with XAS, that is Texas, and we have to store this Texas in the 0th position of a list called states list. Then next search for a word in the states that begins with K and ends with S, which is the state that begins with K and ends with S, Kansas, that is the state. Perform a case-sensitive comparison. Note passing re.Ias a second parameter to method compile perform case-sensitive comparison. Store this word in the element 1 of state list. In the state list, we have to put this element in the position 1. And next, the next task is search for a word in states that begins with M and ends with S. So this is the word which begins with M and ends with S, that is Massachusetts. And we have to store that in element position 2. Search for the word in states that ends with A. So this is the word that ends with A. There is no other state that ends with A. So Alabama. Alabama goes in the 3rd position. So the final list will have 4 elements as per this search criteria ABCD. So we'll see the code how to do this. Okay. So before going into the code, I will show you the output, how you are going to see that in this particular output. Let me start the XAMPP server. Okay, I will start the Apache. Okay, it has started. Then I will open a new window, localhost, then program 9. Right, I have to get that name. That program should be stored in the htdocs. This is how it will show the output. What is the original array? Original array that is given is like this. This is the original array: Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Massachusetts, and Kansas. So 0 is Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Massachusetts, Kansas. And according to the requirement here, this is how we have to search this particular array, and we have to find the first one. We will get it as a Texas. Okay, first one is 0th element Texas, first element Kansas, second element Massachusetts, and third element is Alabama. Now we'll go into the code and we'll see. So this is a PHP code. This is the beginning of the PHP code, and this is the end of the PHP code. Inside the PHP code, I have a variable called states, and I have assigned the string. So what they have given in the problem statement is a string. So the string, uh, the string is, this particular string is stored in dollar states. Now I have to convert that string into an array. Dollar states array is equal to this. This is, it will initialize an array. So I will have an empty array called states array. Then dollar states one is equal to explode. Okay, the explode function, what it will do is, it will take any uh, 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 string as the input, and you can explode that particular string into an array based on certain character. So based on the first parameter is the based on which it will divide that string into a array. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, based on the what character I'm choosing, space, I'm choosing the space character, and dollar states, this is dollar states is nothing but this particular string. So explode will take the second parameter as a string, and based on the first parameter it will convert that string into an array. So what it will do is, it will take this Mississippi, and wherever it sees the space, you can see the space is present here, it is present here, it is present here. So until the space, it will take it as an element. So Mississippi would be the element that will go in the 0th position, and next is the Alabama until the next space, whatever the separator you are using, it will take that one. So then it will take this as the second element, this will go in the 1th position. Similarly, this will go in the index position 2, and so on. So this particular states one dot array will have 5 elements starting from Mississippi to Kansas, with the array index of 0 to 4. Next, echo original array and break. This echo, we know that it will output this to the browser. This is what we are going to see it on the browser. So original array colon, and then we have the break. If you see original array colon, then break means it will come to the next line. And for each, we know that whenever you want to iterate through, if it is a key and value mapping, that kind of array we have, then we have to use the for each. The for each, then you give the dollar states one. Dollar states one has 5 elements, so it will iterate through all those elements. As this is the key, dollar I key, this is map to, this is the arrow key to the value. So what it will do is, in the first iteration, I will, in the dollar I will get the value of 0, because this is the key here is 0. 0 map to Mississippi, dollar value would be Mississippi. So then what I am doing, I am printing that value. Print states, this is a just a text, states dollar I. What is the value of the dollar I? It is 0. Initially, for the first iteration, it will be 0, is equal to dollar value. What is the dollar value? Dollar value is the Mississippi. So how it will print? So this will print on the browser. It will be states square bracket 0 is equal to Mississippi. That is what you will see it on the browser. States inside, this is the key value, and this is the key value, and this is the value that is stored at that particular key, that is Mississippi. Now this for each, it will iterate through this array until the end. Next, when it goes to the next iteration, it will get the index of 1 and value of Alabama. Okay, next is index of 1 and value is Alabama, and so on. It will print all the values until the end of that particular array elements. So that is the this this code. This code will display all the values before the actual search. Then again, for each, again I'm going to parse through the all the values. I'm going to parse through all the values, for which I use for each dollar states as dollar state. So I am not using a key here, just I need the value. So dollar state 1 as a dollar state. So what will be the dollar state in the first iteration? It will have a value of Mississippi. Then I have 4 if conditions here. This is the function preg underscore match. So this is the function that uses the regular expression, and it searches in a particular given string, and if it is true, then it will return a value of 1, otherwise it will return a value of 0. So here preg match, okay, this is a regular, it uses the regular expression pattern. And what is the pattern? First condition, if you go to the statement, what is the first condition? First condition, search for a word in a variable state that ends in XAS. What is important in the name of the state should end in XAS. So dollar, if you remember the regular expression, dollar is looking for the end of the word. What should be the end of the word? XAS, dollar. That is the pattern I am going to give. So this is inside the double quotes is the pattern. XAS should, dollar sign is ending with, so it should end with XAS, and whether whatever the value I have passed here. So what is the first value? Mississippi. Whether Mississippi ends with XAS, answer is no. So it will return 0 or the false. So this particular statement will not get executed. Then it will go to the next preg match. Then inside the pattern, what pattern I have, that is as per the requirement B. Search for a word in states that begins with K and ends in S. Regular expression. Caret is the, this is the character, that is a caret that is used to find a particular word whether it begins with K. So we use the caret. So whether it begins with K, and after that dot represents a character, any kind, any character, any alphanumeric character, that is a dot, and it can present asterisk represent a 0 or many. So after K there can be either 0 character or many characters. So 0 or many character, because after Kansas we have certain characters. Okay, inside there can be any number of characters, but it should end with S. So dollar sign is for the end, it should end with S. So that is how the pattern for the Kansas, to get the Kansas word. And same value is passed, dollar state. Everywhere for match we are checking the same value. So Mississippi, whether it starts with the K, ends with S, no. So this statement will not get executed. Next it will come here. If preg underscore match, next is the, we have given one more pattern. What is the pattern? That is C. Search for a word that begins with M and ends with S. So begins, how to check the beginning? Caret sign, caret character followed by M. It should begin with M, and in between it can have a 0 or any number of characters, and it should end with S. Dollar sign is for the end. So Mississippi, it begins with M, that is correct. Whether it ends with S, no. So this statement also gives a false. It will come to this next if statement. Then again p reg underscore match, what pattern I am giving? It should end with A. Okay, so any word that ends with A, then it will give a true value. So what is that? Search for a word in state that ends in A. Ends in A is A dollar. Okay, so whether Mississippi ends in A, no. So it will come out. Then it will go for the next iteration. What is the next iteration? In the next iteration, the dollar state will get a value of Alabama. Now it will come here. this will be false, this will be false, this will be false. When it comes here, what is the value here? I have Alabama. Whether it matches this pattern, whether this ends with A, answer is true. So at so this is the array I am going to create, that is the list. So at position 3, if you see the problem statement, search for a word states that ends in A, store this word in element 3 of the list. So this is my list, states array is my list. At position number 3, I'm storing Alabama. Okay. Similarly, next it goes for a Texas. Next value is the Texas. If it comes here, the value here is Texas. So this is the pattern, ends with XAS. Okay, Texas ends with XAS. This will return true. So I will come states array at index location 0. I'm storing the Texas value. That is the first one. Search for word which ends with XAS and store at the index location 0. Similarly, other patterns, Kansas, this will become true when we get the value of Kansas, and this will become true when we get the Alabama, and this will become true when we get the value of Massachusetts, and they will be placed at the appropriate index location. So that is the end of the loop. So after this loop, all the values are stored in particular respective locations. Then you have to remember, if you see the order, we added the values in, we added the this particular value first, okay, which is Alabama. We added it first. So what will happen is it will be stored according to that. It will keep on adding the values. If you just display like that, even though it will show the key as 3, Alabama is going to be displayed first. In order to just have 0 to 3 values, what I am doing is a k-sort. K-sort is the method which will sort an array based on the key. Okay, so it will bring it back to the again 0, 1, 2, 3. So that is what it will do. And once it is in the proper order, next is what? Echo break. So I'm two new lines are given, resultant array, and after that break. So this is how. So I have two breaks here, then resultant array, then next line. Then I am going to display this states array. For each states array, as this is the key and this is the value, dollar array and dollar value, print states inside that array. So it will have the initially it will have a value of 0, then initial value will be Texas. Okay, so states 0 Texas, 1 Kansas, 2 Massachusetts, and 3 Alabama. So that is how it will get stored. So just to be curious what this k-sort will do, let me comment this and we will rerun. I have commented and I have saved it. I will reload the page. So you can see this is the order in which we added to the array. This is nothing wrong. Okay, Alabama should be at the position 3 according to the requirement problem statement. See, this is the Alabama. Okay, Texas at the position 0. Texas is at position 0. Massachusetts at position 2. Kansas at position 1. This is perfect output. But if you want to show it in a order 0, 1, 2, 3, what you have to do? You have to call that method k-sort. Just you are doing the k-sort so that you can display it properly. So now I will save it again. Let me open another page so that you can make a comparison. I will call the program again. Now you can see 0, 1, 2, and 3. So earlier it was displaying like that, even though it is a correct value, only the order in which it is displayed is not right. So that is why we have to use that k-sort. You have to call the k-sort function, pass the parameter of this array, which is like having the all the search values. Okay, that is the end of the lab program number 9.